What's up, everyone, and welcome to Clear Talk. So we have some breaking news about the situation over there, and a hostility, agreement, a ceasefire type of agreement. We just had President Biden give a speech, um, directing the different steps and how they plan on this going about. So basically, this is proposed by Israel. All right. Um, we'll get back to that in a second. And then, so right now, the proposal has been handed over to Hamas for them to look over and um, agree or disagree. However, it's obviously the United States. This is going between United States, Israel, Egypt, Qatar, and Hamas. um, and just like every other proposal has, so there's all those working together to try to work out. That's what's been happening for months now. So this proposal has three stages. The first stage is a basically a pause to hostilities and basically like a temporary ceasefire, temporary to the point that we get to phase two, um, and how phase one goes about basically. So it'll be a ceasefire to phase two as long as everything goes according to the layout of phase one. So phase one, ceasefire, um, the release of hostages from Hamas that are basically like your, I would assume basically like the regular citizens, your innocent civilians, um, women, children, the elderly, whatever, and also even ones that may have died during this conflict, release of their bodies, so that back to the authorities and to their families, um, in return for release for hundreds of Palestinian prisoners and stuff that are in Israel, um, and then humanitarian aid will be let in. They're aiming for 600 trucks a day. What he said. That would certainly be more than they have had. They probably would need more, but 600 is 600. That would help to get people back into better conditions. Um, Going forward into this first phase will be 6 weeks. And then after the 6 weeks, as throughout the 6 weeks, continued negotiations going on to work into phase two. Phase two would be an agreement of permanent ceasefire at that point by Israel, um, and the release of the rest of the hostages, military men, women, whatever, and also I would assume military individuals that have passed away, um, remaining of all those, and then and the continuation of aid and all that. And then working into phase three, which would be a reconstruction phase for Gaza. Um, oh, and also in this phase, well, the first phase, let me back up. First phase also will allow Palestinians to return back to their homes, even to the north, to um, and sheltering will be put out um, throughout the Gaza Strip. That's what was said. And so that would continue into phase two. Um, but anyway, phase three would be a reconstruction period, where, with the help with the international community, the start to the rebuilding process. Um, and so basically, this is an agreement to go back to the status quo before October 7th. That's basically what this is. Um, Is this good enough? No, because to me, because it is doesn't have a long lasting peace agreement, something that will allow for some type of um, Palestinian state or something, to give them freedom and autonomy to to live like they should. Um, but I would hope that during the reconstruction phase that that's those types of things will start to be discussed and worked out, and hopefully that can happen, because otherwise if it does not happen, um then we're just gonna wind up seeing this happen all over again. um there will be no end to this, um unless there is a actual full on peace agreement, allowing the Palestinian people complete freedom, um, and the ability to have their own state and their own, you know, everything, rights and whatnot. Um, so, like I said, hopefully that will happen. This is again now it's been presented to Hamas, um, who the diplomats and stuff that we talked about that were in Qatar, um, and so hopefully they will. I feel like at this point they will take it. I mean, this it really isn't that far from what was previously just a couple weeks ago presented, um, but that Israel turned around and backed out of. But I think at this point, because of the what happened last weekend, um, and just the grotesque manner, and videos and pictures that come out of that, the international pressure is now at an all-time high. And so I have a feeling that this is why this is coming to the table. Although he did address the fact that there will be parts of Israel, the Israel society, and most importantly, or specifically, some of the actual government officials who will be against this, and because they want to continue the war, they want to actually resettle Gaza and everything. The rhetoric has been there; they've been talking about it since the beginning. He basically was like, his his target was that, to suggest and bold and like, strongly, his whole soul, we strongly suggest and um pressure push that you hold to this, talking pretty much basically to Netanyahu, that he holds to this agreement, doesn't back out like he did before, um and so that we can um start actually changing the situation. uh I wish this was been way before now, but at least if we do get something going, then um, it can start. Something can start to change. Um, but I am very sure that the international community will I feel like will really hold an eye on this and keep a watch on this throughout all of these phases. And there will continue to be pressure from the international community for further steps to be taken. I'm pretty sure of that. I don't think this is going to just blindly go away like it has in the past. Um, so, uh, and I really hope it does. I really hope the pressure continues, because something more needs to happen. Going back to the status quo before October 7th isn't gonna solve this. There needs to be a actual final solution. There needs to be a peaceful solution. Um, anyways, uh, that's pretty much it. So now it's, wait and see whether Hamas agrees, and then hopefully no backing out. Phase one will also include military retraction from like the inner city areas and stuff like that, the highly populated areas that will back out. Phase two would then also um, be a complete backing out of the whole Gaza Strip. So there'll still be, military force in the region for phase one, the first 6 weeks, um, just pulled out of the urban, highly populated areas. And then the second week, the second phase, pulling completely out. Um, so that one I just thought about that I didn't mention before. So yeah, these uh, hopefully this works. Hopefully this does actually work, and we get moving into um, a better situation for everyone. I do hope that there will be continued investigations. Like, and I don't mean by Israel themselves. There needs to be further investigations by the UN and other anybody else, um, and push for some type of actions being taken. I do hope the warrants that or the proposal for the warrants goes through, and the five individuals that were in those are pressured, and and have to deal with that, and whether at some point they wind up actually being apprehended, that would be wonderful. I have nothing against, nothing for that. And yeah, I personally wish there were even investigations into our own government and officials and policies that has happened through this period. Um, but I highly doubt that will happen. But anyways, um, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you for joining me. Any bigger further update that happens, I will try my best to come on and give that to you. But anyways, thank you for joining me, and until next time, peace. Clear Talk. I'm out.